Well, I'll explain you how. So, the law was given as a coping mechanism because the layer of the demonic was above human heads. All right. To Israel, it was given because they are mm, sort of uh, serve God. Okay, but the sin was still present. Okay, if not in them, but in their you know uh, counterparts in their opposition. Amalekim, meaning the people of Amalek, demonized people, Canaanite people from seven wicked nations. So, but the bottom line is the sin is like when it's sitting on your head and you have those directions do good and reject evil. Okay, you have need for this discernment, okay? Because you understand that this bitterness comes from Satan, okay? And this, for instance, good deed comes from God. And you choose good and you reject evil. Okay, when Christ comes, he lifts you up above condemnation, above the demonic, okay? So there is no need for you to discern bad, good and evil in this case. Okay, and that's one of the fears because a person is used to this. Because what you don't see is that usually, like if I draw a body, okay, and the brain, spinal column, what you don't see, those spirits from above, which I depicted here like this layer, okay, they sit on a person's brain. It's like they are projected, okay, and kind of grabbing from behind the brain, okay. So a person is kind of sees the situation if not through demonic perspective, but he has the bias, and when he doesn't do as this wicked spirit, okay, this wicked spirit wants, you have that pain impulse, okay, like some hand pressing on your head that you do something wrong. And a person, since it comes like from above or it comes as an ingrown in impulse, reflex, or sort of instinct, a person may think this is from God, but it's not. It's not from God. It's a spiritual stuff, thin matter stuff, because the true spirit is only God, but it's not from the true living God. Okay, so when God frees you from this, He cancels this. All right, and not only He frees you here, but He also, as I depicted here, moves in like with this new creation. Okay, and projects Himself onto the world. This is another topic already, but I will continue. But the bottom line of what I wanted to say, that the law was a coping mechanism in the presence of sin. When a person's mind is brought up above the sin, the demonic, you see the wicked spirit only from outside. Everything is what is connected to you is the Holy Spirit, okay, and there is no need to discernment, because you don't discern Holy Spirit from Holy Spirit if it's only Holy Spirit. Okay, you just have to calm down and get used to this, okay, and because the only spirit that will advance and tell you, well, how you're gonna be discerning, it's gonna be Satan, okay. It's gonna be Satan who wants you to come back under his affliction. Okay, and you have to remain in freedom, because well, Satan is corroding to your flesh, you know. Well, you know. So in grace we are above the law. We are just led directly by God. So, and here God is projected onto the world. Okay, and before you were like a person who is led to be in this world, who's a guest here. But when God removes Satan, the veil drops, and you realize, you can say you become, but you realize that you actually, and God is, and you, by the power of God, is actually the host here. You are the main person here, and God is, of course, He is the first owner. He invades this world, and what you may see that well, you kind of wanna draw back. I'm not saying into perdition, but you wanna draw back because you see that this spirit acting through you, whom you are associating yourself with, because he comes through you and from you, he invades and he takes possession. He you see him entering and grabbing other people's souls, like not grabbing, but you know, feeding them, you know, expelling this spirit. So he takes something that he never took that personally before, because he invaded personally right here through you. Before this, it wasn't the case. Okay, so he takes what he didn't sow, he reaps where he didn't sow, and he gathers where he didn't plant. Okay, and if you restrain, you violate the parable of the talents. Okay, you have to understand that God makes you a host. Makes you a host. He is the host, and if you withheld, if you obey Satan to be nice, okay, because he will be shouting or pleading, stop it, okay, it will be unfortunately what I did. It will be the sin of Eve. Okay, so Satan, when God gives you power and delivers you, can only afflict you through deception by your obedience to him. If you do what he tells you, okay? Any spirit, even the Spirit of God, and the Spirit of God, the Lord, the God Himself, made this rule. He created it this way, that a fleshly being connects with a spirit, even a spirit of God, the Spirit of God, or demonic spirit, any spirit, by obedience. The spirit tells a fleshly being, do this, and he doesn't necessarily want you to do this, but the obedience, the listening, the stretching the hand of your heart, so to speak, towards doing it, putting trust, this creates bond. That's why God God in the Old Testament told Israel to raise altars to bring sacrifices. It's only for the obedience and trust, and you know, you trust what you cherish. You trust the cow, maybe the best cow. It's actually was supposed to be always the best from the flock. To be sacrificed, and this obedience creates connection. So, and the wicked spirits also. So Satan, God tells you take the territory, obey, and that's it. And Satan comes and reminds you that you used to be a nice person. How can you do this? And by this, pleading to your former character and to traits that you regarded always as good traits, but they never were good. It's just a mode of survival, of accommodating to the environment, to society. When you were in